Hello, and welcome once again to the Dental Marketing Mastery Series. This podcast is brought to you by dentalwebcontent.com and New Patients Incorporated. I'm Howie Horrocks, the founder of New Patients Incorporated. Along with me once again is my friend and partner and the president of New Patients Incorporated, Mark Dilatush.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to our podcast. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing just fine. I'm at the Northern Intergalactic headquarters of New Patients Incorporated.
Otherwise known as your vacation house in Maine.
That is correct. And it
Love
is
that place.
The earth up here tries to take everything man makes.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. It really is amazing how incredibly dense the forest is and how incredibly cold it gets and how that wreaks havoc on man-made structures. Although mine is still standing here in fine shape, but others around the lake have fallen victim. So, yeah, it's weird. It's amazing. Anyway,
well, and the bonus is
here.
The bonus is there's also bears.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Actually, I was outside. I was power washing. Believe it or not, I was power washing the dock, and a bald eagle flew right over top of my head, about 50 feet.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Just went right over my head while I'm power washing, which is noisy as heck, right?
Yeah.
It's anyway. So that's not why we're doing a podcast. We're doing a podcast to talk about either like free or no cost, or low or no cost marketing. Yeah,
that's a good topic. You might also describe it as a little bit guerrilla marketing, meaning you put more sweat equity into it than you do dollars.
There you go. Okay, and then that would be important to. Well, here's my experience. My experience with dentistry has been that that's incredibly important when you're first starting your practice.
Yeah, it's more of a startup.
Yeah, startup or maybe your first 5 years. Startup, infancy, adolescence, then you become an adult and you get lazy, basically. That's how it works.
Yeah.
But some of the ways that some of the methods and some of the ways that you can do this is still true. I mean, none of it has gone out of style. I mean, it's not like, yellow pages to the internet or anything like that. Let me give you some examples. Get yourself some business cards. That's low cost or almost no cost. And leave them wherever you go to lunch.
Yeah, with a tip.
With a tip. Make
sure it's a good tip.
Make sure you're not stiffing the waitress. Here's another one. We get these calls all the time where we do an analysis, and we find that the doctor's office is in the middle, really, of more businesses than it is households or big apartment buildings. And the doctor comes to us invariably and says, well, I want to be the dentist to all those people who work there. And I want to be available to them before work, after work, and, obviously during their lunchtime. Here's the problem, though. How do you penetrate those walls? How do you get those employees to recognize who you are and where you are and what you do? And here's a simple, low cost, and we know this is effective, is, a moderate to good, solid quality coffee mug that says on the side of it, I love my dentist, ask me why. www.yourdomain.com. And when the employee, who is your patient, is sitting there at their desk with their brandy new mug, and they're sipping coffee from it in a meeting with 12 other people, and the mug and the coffee says, I love my dentist, ask me why, guess what happens?
Yeah, exactly.
A conversation starts like, who the hell loves their dentist and why do you love your dentist and where did you get that cup? Right.
Right.
All of a sudden, boom, a conversation starts, referrals happen, and that's, again, I'm not going to say no cost, but lots of dentists out there are on budgets. That's very, minimal cost.
Yeah, it's an old idea. How about going to meet your neighbors? Wow, I mean that goes way back to caveman stuff.
Right. Oh my God. Right.
But you don't often see it. So go and meet your neighbors. Let them know who you are and what you do. And obviously, you have some major advantages. You're right near where they work. They don't need to drive across town to link up with your practice. And
exactly.
You can be available in their lunch hour. So you have some major advantages there. You just be neighborly. That's all. You want to introduce yourself.
Yes. Saying hi is not a high cost. Another thing that works in the same line of thinking is visiting your neighbor business owners. Not just, potential new patients, but business owners, the pizza person, the person who owns the gym, the manager, whoever. Many cases, if they have under 15 to 20 employees, they probably don't have a dental plan, or if they do, it's a crappy one. And a lot of our offices will have their own in-house plan that they can offer those businesses as an adjunct to the benefits they offer their employees. You've heard of QDP. We have lots of clients who have QDP. Well, if you have QDP, that's, that could be a benefit plan for, a local employee with a local business with 6 employees.
Yeah, right.
You can offer that plan to them, right? And have their employees come to you. You can treat their employees before work or after work or during lunch so that the employees don't miss any work. You can expand this with a relationship. You can expand this into placing. I'm not going to say an ad, but let's say it's 8.5 by 11 single sheet framed. You can have that in your reception room wall. Our business neighborhood might be the title over top of it. You may have 10 or 12 local businesses exposed to your patients in your reception room, with the agreement that those businesses will have an 8.5 by 11 framed exposure for your business in their reception room. You see this a lot, and I see it an awful lot in delis. Of course, I'm from Jersey, right? So we invented delis, but we see these all the time in sandwich shops, delis. We see them in, actually, honestly, Jiffy Lubes. That cork board with all the realtor business cards thumbtacked into it, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot to walk into a business and say, hi, I own a business here in town, and maybe we can help each other out. I have quite a few patients coming through my office every day. You obviously have quite a few people coming in for pizza every day. What if I gave you an 8.5 by 11 spot on my wall? Would you give me an 8.5 by 11 spot on your wall, or maybe up here on your counter? It's not a hard discussion to have. I mean, you really only have to have it once. And, if they're a jerk, and you just walk out and go to the next business, no big deal, right?
Right. Sort of a adjunct to that is consider all your vendors that service your practice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They of course have to be local, but they're delivering supplies to you almost on a daily basis, or FedEx, or any of those types of vendors. You can make them an offer. You can offer to have a look at their do an exam for them, for example, and introduce them to your dental family, and it doesn't take any money to talk to these people. They're already coming into your practice. That's a thought.
Yeah, no, and then the same thing's true with your IT people, your cleaning people, the people who might handle your security, the people who handle your landscaping, the people who might remove your snow. All of these people are certainly worth having a conversation if they serve the general public as well, the same as you.
Yeah.
And they can become patients, and so can their family and friends and coworkers, and it goes on and on and on. And again, it's not, I guess, is it free? Well, an 8.5 by 11 presentation and a frame, yeah, it's almost free, right? So it's a low cost or no cost. Is very beneficial to someone who's on a budget. I get questions all the time about wanting to get to all the patients who work at a certain place, and some doctors still believe that you can go through their HR department.
No.
Yeah, I think in my entire 26-year career in dentistry, I think I can count on one hand. I don't think I have to get to my pinky to count the people who've been successful doing that. So I'm not telling you to not try. You can go ahead, but there's a million other things you can do before you beat your head firmly against that brick wall. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's limitless. I remember a really big event, a community day, where the doctor said he wanted to do something really unique. And we said, okay, well, there's a million of these barbecue outfits with the big trucks with the, smoke coming out of them that'll, they'll be happy to cook up barbecue. So why don't you have the barbecue pit? Why don't you be that guy? The guy that shows up with the really good food, okay? That's a community event, right? It can also be your event. You can have a competition. You can bring in 8 to 10 of them. And,
didn't that client actually do it in the parking lot of his practice?
In the parking lot of his practice, right?
Yeah.
They had clowns. They had, for the kids, they had games. They had face painting. They had all kinds of stuff, right? Again, not free, but 90% of the cost were offset by the other vendors who were there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just got to think outside the box. I know a real famous doctor in the U.S. who initially built his practice hanging door hangers. Those little annoying plastic bags, that you find on your door handle.
Let's tell that story when we come back from this short break, okay?
Okay, yep.
So we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Howie Horrocks. Are you a dentist who does some or even all of your own marketing? If so, you've probably realized that creating marketing content can be very time-consuming. Mailers and print ads require writing, videos need scripting, social media ads need creating, and on and on. You can eliminate this problem by using dental web content. We took 27 years worth of our content that consistently worked for our clients and put it online in a mammoth digital library. It's like Amazon for dental advertising. You choose what you want, for example, a new reception area video, put it in your cart and hit order. Within 48 hours, you get your customized content. Want to see it in action? Email us at demo, that's DEMO, at newpatientsinc.com or go to dentalwebcontent.com.
Hello, we're back again. Mark was Mark, I don't think he would mind if we mentioned his name. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't, but that's your call. If you want to tell the story about this famous doctor who went around his neighborhood at 6 o'clock in the morning and meeting people on the front porch.
Yeah, his wife, his wife at the time. And if you're in dentistry anywhere probably in the world, you know who this guy is. And that's how he's bold enough not to be obnoxious, right? So cross as legit, and for him it is legit. I want to reach out to you. I provide this service. Here's a toothbrush, floss, and some toothpaste. And these are the things that I recommend. And if you'd like to be a patient, blah blah blah. Didn't he get run off by 1 or 2 people? Like, I think he did. I forget the tail end of the story that he tells. But
well, this described the interactions he would get anywhere from, like you said, there were a small minority of people that just told him to get lost, but overall, people were actually quite nice to him and actually
Right.
glad to meet him. And he would say, right there at 6 o'clock in the morning, there, the lady's in her bathrobe and I'm standing on her front porch and she's opening her mouth and pointing to number 5 and
Right.
telling me what kind of a problem she's having with it.
Right. Right.
Can
It's
you
just
see that? I mean, that's hilarious.
people just being people. But the point is that, is it no cost? No, I mean, you got to pay a little bit for the bags and you got to pay your vendors for the little sample floss, toothpaste, and toothbrushes. Takes a little time to assemble the bags, but you can do that while you're watching your favorite, binge show at home. So it's not no cost, but it's very, very low cost, but it does take your time. And when you're starting out or when you're in your first 5 years, chances are you're going to have some time. You're going to have some time to devote each week to promoting your practice. And that would be another great way. What else, Howie? What are some other things that we've seen throughout the years? Oh, certainly the referral brochures. Those are golden. Yeah. Those are so incredibly low cost. Predictability is way over 95%. They just work. They don't work like, they don't drive volumes of additional new patients into a practice, but they will work, certainly enough to offset their costs probably in the first month. And then after that, you've got years and years and years of these in supply to use.
Yeah. And again, this isn't a new idea. I mean,
no.
Hell, I was talking about this 25 years ago in my first book, but, and you've all heard of care to share cards and that sort of thing. But at that time, I wanted to make it something different, a different kind of presentation that wouldn't be just tossed away like a business card often is. So these referral brochures need to be nice looking, nice glossy presentation that someone would actually feel guilty if they threw away. And so, there's some guilt in there, I guess. And hand them out and with very minimal dialogue. You don't want to get into a big thing and explain everything. You just, hey, Mary, you've been such a great patient. Why don't you give this to somebody you like? And that's about it. Right. And the doctor should not be involved in that. This is something the staff do at certain points in time during the patient's treatment. And it's usually at the end of when their work's done. Right, Mark? Yeah, the assistant presents these at the end of the last operative visit, shortly before the patient gets scheduled for recare. And the hygienist presents at the end of the recare visit that does not end in the need for operative treatment. In other words, you've cleaned my teeth, I feel great, I can feel the gaps in my teeth again, and I don't need any more work. Those are the 2 times in your patient's life cycle in your practice that they are the happiest with you. Their work is done or they need no more additional work. And that's when you present these. So that evens it all out. Makes it so you don't underpresent or don't overpresent. They're ridiculously simple to present. You can hand 3 or 4 or 5 of them to someone. Do you know anybody looking for a great dental home? Here's a gift form. How many would you like? 2, 3, 5, 7, whatever. Just peel off a half a stack, hand it to them. They can drop it in their purse and walk out with them. And what we're finding is that it's kind of like Kohl's Cash. It's that whole concept of rewarding someone for shopping there. Only in this case, the Kohl's Cash isn't really cash, but the benefit goes to the patient who's referred, not your patient. Yeah, that's important. That's important. That's vitally important. So then after the patient makes the referral, then you surprise them with a gift. So you don't tell them you're going to give them a gift if they hand these things to their friends, but when they do, then you surprise them. And then now, you don't want it can't be a bribe or even the appearance of a bribe. So you don't want to do that. No. Yeah. Well, most of the care to share is a bribe. Yeah. Care to share is a flat out bribe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For your friends, I'll give you $50 as a bribe. Okay. I
Yeah.
don't care. There's no weapons involved, but I mean, come on, it is what it is. So, yeah, no, those will get you a nasty gram in about 30 states in the U.S. But
Yeah.
these won't. These avoid all that stuff. So anyway, there really are. My goodness, Facebook. Here's another one, and this is actually goes back to us, but not doing this purposely. But you're looking for low or no cost marketing. Facebook's a great example of that. And I mean, in large part, it's why we built dental web content, because it's very low or almost no cost, marketing that you can grab and use and send out through your various social media properties. It doesn't have to cost $1 million to do marketing in dentistry. So there really are a lot of different ways. You know what normally we find that there's always this line where people are too embarrassed to reach out and say, "Hi, how are you? My name's Sally. I'm a dentist and I practice over in whatever, Torresdale. What do you do?" That conversation's kind of hard for some people, right? To just walk up and say that to somebody and give them, shake their hands. That's usually the bottom line between the people who actually implement and execute all these things and the people who don't. Can't fix that. We have no remedy. You're just going to have to be obnoxious.
Or just friendly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm being facetious.
Yourself.
Yeah, just kind of like Howie and I. Hi, Howie, how you doing? Hi, Mark, how you doing? How's Maine? Maine's fine. It's just a conversation. Of course, we know each other, but if I didn't know Howie, I have no problem walking up and say, "Hey, my name's Mark.
Yeah.
I'm the president for this company. What do you do?" "Well, I'm the CEO of the company." You know what I'm saying? It's just an easy conversation to have. You don't have to overthink it. There's no manual you have to read. You just basically become human and just walk around saying hi to people. That's gold. I know another really famous dentist in Manhattan who built his entire practice, his entire reputation, an international reputation, by being obnoxious and being at every party in Manhattan.
Yeah.
He never spent 1 cent on regular, traditional marketing. Not one penny. He was just always everywhere. Right?
Yeah. He was it's who you know kind of an approach. He got to know everybody.
And didn't Bill Dorfman get that gig with ABC because he kept having his staff send releases out to the local ABC affiliate? Isn't that how he got that gig?
That's exactly right. He made a lot of he got himself a lot of attention just by doing that, because then when the TV station needed a quote unquote dental expert to make a comment on something,
they were familiar. Right.
He was already in their files about 500 times, so they give him a call.
Right.
And one thing led to another, and
and the rest is history. Right. Yeah. So we hope I know a lot of times we talk about things like radio and television and some forms of direct mail and internet and Google PPC and Facebook, and all that stuff costs a bunch of money. Right. So we just wanted to take one of these podcasts at least. And, for those of you on a budget, you got a million things you can do. There's more things you can do for little to no money than there are things you can do with lots of money, actually. So, you're never done. The list is endless. So Howie had a bunch of them in his first 2 books. We've put a few of them in the 3rd book.
Hey, why don't we send those first 2 books to anybody who wants them? Would that be a good idea? Anybody?
That would be fine. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff is dated, but some of the stuff in there is gold. Yeah. I mean, it's just you're going to have to sift through them and read them, but I don't have a problem with that.
Good. Let Josh know. What's his email? I forgot.
Josh@newpatientsinc.com.
Oh, it was so simple. That's why I forgot it.
Right. Just let Josh know. Send Josh an email. Say, hey, I was listening to podcast number, I forget, whatever number this is. And Howie said I could have his first couple books. That's fine. The third book is already on our website. It's a free download.
Yeah, that's right.
But your first two books are in. They're not in downloadable form, are they?
Nope, they're the actual paperback.
Okay, so they're going to have to pay for shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So shipping.
It's cheap though.
It's cheap. So anyway, that's our list for today. You have lots of things to do.
Thank you all for joining us, and we'll be back with you again before you know it. Bye now.
We hope you've enjoyed our podcast today. You can find more podcasts on our YouTube channel, on Stitcher, and iTunes. Also on our websites dentalwebcontent.com and newpatientsinc.com.